Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. I am so excited that you guys tuned in today to be a part of this broadcast. Listen, you are a very important part of the studio audience. If we were together in a building, you would be sitting there screaming and hollering, "Ah, we're at the Kim Jacobs Show." But since you're at home, I want you to put that same energy into the show as a part of the studio audience. Type your comments. Make sure you type them because that's the only way I know you're even on. So make sure you become an active participant in the Kim Jacobs Show studio audience. Today, I have a very special guest, and her name is Pamela Howard. Hey, Pamela.
Hey.
I'm going to do a formal introduction of Pamela, but I want to give you all the opportunity to share this broadcast with all of your friends, your family, your coworkers. People from all walks of life can benefit from today's topic, which is how to find balance while doing your events virtually. What? You know that's something everybody need to know. Everybody. Okay, so take a quick moment. It's a brief commercial break, and we're going to share the broadcast with our friends and family. So go ahead and do that now. And Pamela, you can do the same thing, and then I'm going to offer a formal introduction of who you are for today's show. I'm going to share it as well. So let me go to my page and check on everything. Make sure there's no glitching. Okay, everything looks good. Yay. Okay, everybody should be sharing and commenting and everything. Let me go ahead and already say hello to Ruth Jacobs. Already typed a comment. Good afternoon. Glad to be listening. Ruth Jacobs is my sister, and I'm so glad you're on, Ruth. So great. So go ahead and tell your friends to jump on as well. All right. So we are going to, we're going to go ahead and get started. And welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show, everybody. So glad to have you all. Today, my very special guest her name is Miss Pamela Howard. Now, I'm going to share some of Pamela's story because I think it'll bring you into an understanding of why she is going to be so passionate about talking about this topic today. Before Pamela's 20 years of event management and facilitating an array of events, she has experienced the event challenge. I got to put my glasses on because I don't. That's the beautiful part. In life, you don't have to fake nothing out. If you can't see it, you can't see it. Why can't I just put my glasses on, my reading glasses, then I can take them back off because then I can't see you because you're blurred. So, okay. Life is about being able to just be totally as transparent as you can be about yourself. You may not be able to be transparent. Guess what? I can be transparent about Kim. How about that? So anyway, before Pamela's 20 years of event management and facilitating an array of events, she has experienced the event challenges of where you may be today, such as having fabulous ideas, which I'm really gifted at that. I have fabulous ideas, no money or budget to support your ideas, needing a support team to help, and a lack of strategy to get your clients for your events. Pamela Howard has taken the road of hard knocks with supportive training to become the professional and well-respected entrepreneur that she is, as well as building 4 profitable businesses: Howard and Howard Event Management and Catering, Trendy Heels and Totes, A Perfect Choice Hair Salon and Day Spa, and now Pamela Plans. She has created and mastered an amazing event strategies that are clearly defined in 6 very specific steps that will give you the event success that relieves the event pains. And I'm serious, it's some serious pain. I hate to pause right in the middle of somebody's introduction, but the event pains that most small business owners are facing today, and most of all, a profitable return. Nobody wants to have an event and it's not profitable. A profitable return. Her secret to success is driving strategy and value to take care of the bottom line while providing a vehicle to further one's company's goals that will leverage, spend, and returning dollars to the budget. Girl, now you know why I had to read that introduction. Pamela Howard. Welcome to the show, to the Kim Jacobs Show, Pamela. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I have no complaints, and I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, you can't imagine how happy I am, because right now, with everyone being home, tucked away, and trying to figure out how to use technology and trying to figure out how to still have successful events, people are like pulling their hair out. I mean, I've never heard so much stress associated with, what do I do?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, what? And now we have you, Pamela Howard. What kind of advice do you want to share with people, just to kind of put everybody at ease right from the beginning of the broadcast?
You know, I guess the main thing is don't change your workday pattern. Try to keep it as consistent as if you were actually going out and, you know, out to a brick and mortar or going to a coffee house to meet, but just keep it normal. The only difference is that it's virtually.
That's real good. Don't try to change your work pattern. I love that. You'll see me typing, and it's because I don't have Cassandra here with me. Cassandra here with me. You know, I would be like very. We're all shut in. I'm typing it myself, and you know, she's just a blessing when it comes to helping me.
Oh, yes,
she is, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. I wish she could be quadrupled.
Oh, I know. If you could just clone Cassandra, right? Okay. Right. Change your work pattern.
Right.
So that is a good point, because people typically just do what when they're in shut-in mode? What have you noticed?
They feel like they have to reinvent the wheel. And you don't have to. I mean, just stay consistent with what you are. We all are pivoting. We're tweaking, pivoting, tweaking, and just refining is the words I like to use. We're not really recreating the wheel. And so maybe that can help with some people that's being stressed out about their events. I know, being in the event industry, my industry is probably suffering the most because event facilities are closed. Whatever events that we had booked live, you know, had to cancel, refunds given out, and that alone can be stressful. But, you know, that's why the word contingencies is so important. In one of my 6-step processes, I have a workshop called about event contingency. And right now, I think we're all finding that contingencies should always come first in whatever we do. Preparing for those contingencies so that when these things happen, we have a plan. And right now, the plan is being 100% virtually.
That's a good point. So you said that Pamela Howard, she's an event planner and a business strategist. And so right now, with her being an event planner, a lot of her particular industry is taking a heavy hit. And so she's just still has this beautiful smile and just so excited about life. And you're like, how is she doing that? And she's saying basically it's through pivoting, tweaking, and refining. I love that point. I typed it across the screen, and I'm saying it because I also have a podcast where people don't get to see the screen, so they will hear some of the points that you're sharing: pivoting, tweaking, and refining. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're already off to a great start. Let's go to a few of the audience comments. I have Samantha Benson. Now, Samantha Benson, she does final expense insurance, and that is something that she was a guest on my show recently. Anybody that needs to learn more about final expense, Samantha Benson, she actually talks about on the show how it's a big difference between life insurance and final expense, which I didn't know that until I had her on my show. So welcome to today's studio audience, Samantha. Do you want to say anything to Samantha, Pamela?
Hey, Samantha, I think what you do is awesome. Finances are a big part of contingency as well as budget to be able to do any type of event. So understanding the difference between those finances will help with creating those spend and recurring dollars in your budget.
Mm-hmm. And now we also have Des, our DEI real estate and staging. Des is actually going to be my guest on Friday's show. So she said, hi, Kim. Hi, Pam. Hey, Des.
Hey, Des.
We love your work, Des. Des staged my talk show when it was at the old Jim and Tammy Faye Baker studio. the first thing everybody said when they walked in was like, wow, this
You got that magic, that Midas touch.
she has a special touch, yes. So welcome, Des. Okay, Priscilla Martin is in the audience. She's from Virginia. She just gave a round of applause saying, great show, type of thing.
Hi, Priscilla.
And then, okay, Samantha Benson said, I normally hire events at hotels. How can she do a hiring virtual event for me? I'm hiring across the country.
Okay. So if you're trying to hire, let me make sure I understand your question correctly. You want to hire someone virtually for a virtual event? Is that
right.
what you're asking?
Normally hire it for events at hotels. So she'll hire someone to plan her events at a hotel. Okay. How can she do a hiring virtual event for me? Like, how do you do a hiring virtual event for her?
Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm just, the information is coming over a little bit confusing. I just want to make sure if she's looking to hire an event planner virtually for an event, is that what she's asking?
That's what I think she's asking too. But by all means, Samantha, you can further clarify and go back in and put some more detail to your comment, and I'll have Pamela answer that specific question. Okay. Are you looking to hire, this is for you, Samantha, are you looking to hire an event planner and you want her to help you virtually, or are you looking for her to tell you how to do virtual events? And that's a whole different strategy session, because Pamela is very thorough. So she has your stuff mapped out like you are the president of the United States. Your stuff is organized. It's not even a joke. The stuff she says is sometimes to me, I'll be like, I just want to make sure she's asking to hire an event planner virtually, or she's looking to host a hiring event. Okay.
Like she's trying to hire
both non-licensed and licensed agents. Okay, I don't know this language, so.
Okay, it looks like she's looking to put on a hiring event virtually. In other words, she wants to announce that there's work available, and she's looking to do that virtually. And that's something that I call on-demand social media marketing. Okay. For example, in the event industry world, if I'm having an event, I've already got everything locked down, but I need an extra component, like I may need a DJ or I may need a photographer. You can do an on-demand social marketing campaign for what you want. Okay. And you just be very clear, very specific, and just like you told me, you're hiring non-licensed and licensed people. Already have what that budget is in mind, or what that compensation is going to be, the time frame of the work, and then put it out there almost like a press release. You can get almost immediate response within 10 minutes, sometimes no longer than an hour.
Wow. Okay, so Samantha, you have your answer there, which is going back to your question. She said yes, yes. Yes. So Samantha Benson and Pamela Howard, make sure you guys connect after the show.
Absolutely.
Connect backstage, okay? By all means, you have a press. Okay, so Pamela, what can you do? Like, what can you do as a person? I'm talking about advice to us as the general public.
Okay.
You're an expert. We're just all we're trying to just do is get some crumbs around here to figure out how to be able to function virtually. What can you do virtually? That's the biggest question I could think to ask right now is, what do you think from your perspective as an event planner that we can do virtually?
From a work-life balance perspective, it's going to really take that individual understanding what their strengths are.
Okay. And
learning from those strengths, being able to understand what you can possibly do virtually. So, I'll use myself as an example a lot. There's a client that I worked with, a personal trainer. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that he posted on social media was, he felt like he couldn't breathe because he had to close his doors to his gym. Mm-hmm. Those types of people are being affected, by COVID-19, just like the event industry.
Right.
And when I reached out to him about that, it's all about understanding his strengths. As a fitness trainer, he's great with connecting with people, understanding what their strengths are physically,
Right.
and helping them, enhance that, or what their weaknesses are and helping them enhance that. But to not be face to face with someone in your person, it can be challenging.
Mhm.
But our technology allows us to uplift our strength. And one of the things that I introduced to him was doing private sessions on Zoom. And there's so many different platforms that you can use, but you got to understand what your strengths are. Everyone won't be able to do a physical service online. Something you will have to do that. I can't think of the word for it, but for example, I can't do a live event. That's something that I can't do. I can host as many virtual events as I possibly can, but there are other services that I can offer people. Work is still going on. People still have to have contracts reviewed. People
Right.
still have to make decisions, about choices. And so that's a strength that I have to be able to help people that are still looking to do something with events, whether they're hosting or whether they're preparing for a launch or anything like that. So to answer your question specifically, what you can do online, I think you have to understand what your strengths are.
I
And
love
like and like you, Kim, you're great. You're great at encouraging people and being inspirational. And that's what you do. And so you leverage what your strength is in a technical platform, and you engage and you draw in and you're building. And so that's how you can learn what you can actually do online virtually.
Well, if anybody has a session with Pamela Howard, you'll feel so much better about yourself by the time she's done with you. You're like, I have those skills. I can do that? You mean I possess those qualities? She's like an affirmation times 1,000 is what Pamela does for me whenever I have private sessions with her. And it just changes the trajectory of the direction that things go in, all because I've had a 1-hour Zoom session with her. And then she follows it up with all of these detailed actions. I'm like, what? How did you get that from what we talked about? She'll tell me, I'll give you an example. She'll say to me, Kim, you need to, what's your pain points and what's things that, why are you doing what you're doing? And I tell her why I'm doing it. And I never even have told you guys, but then it's like Pamela yanks it out of me. I'm like, let me give you an example. Pamela, ask me a question like how you asked me. I'm not a faker. Like I can't. Let's role play for a second.
Okay, oh Lord.
You ask me something and then it gets this really deep answer, but it's like I have those answers inside of me. Come on, role play with me.
Okay. All right, Kim. So what is the main objective for the Kim Jacobs Show?
See, that's a great point, right? So the main objective of the Kim Jacobs Show is to inspire women and encourage women to know that no matter what circumstances they're experiencing, no matter what they have experienced in their lives, no matter what they've been through, no matter how difficult life looks, no matter what relationship worked, no matter what relationship didn't work, no matter what happens, at the end of the day, you can make it and you can be everything that God created you to be. And so it may look bad, it may look like the world is coming to an end, but it's not. And at the end of the day, God created you to be able to carry on in this journey. See, that's what I'm saying. Now, I never said that. Now you always got me all like emotional. Why do you do that to people, Pam?
I did ask the question. The thing of it is, we all know what our strengths are. Well, let me rephrase that. We all have what we need to be able to pursue what we need to do in life. Sometimes it just takes outside influences, or as I said earlier, tweaking, pivoting, redefining to just kind of bring it out, and then it just kind of comes out effortlessly. A lot of times in questionnaires I have with clients, I ask the questions, and They already know the answer. I don't even have to tell them.
You guys, if I go back and look at our session, our strategy session that we had, it's so much meat in there. Like, I think one question you had asked me was, you were asking me something about why do I want to succeed, or something you asked me. I forget, something about why. You would have to tell me, because I wrote it down. It's all written down in my plan. But you asked me a specific question, and it made me think about the fact that I have my son that passed away. And this was my answer to you. I don't remember the question.
I think we were talking about the Mother Dreamer movement.
Yeah.
And getting people to, engage and connect and grow. Because I know that movement is not just a local dream. It's not a local dream. And it's needed. It's going to go abroad. And, you are, I should call you the event host. Because
I've heard that title before.
You are. You host great events. And what you have to offer the world, offer mothers, the platforms that you have put forth for other like-minded people like yourself are just phenomenal. And it's too big for it to stay local. It needs to grow abroad.
You see what I'm saying? If she tells you that kind of stuff, don't you think you can tackle the world? So by the time I finished talking to Pamela, I was like, I have my son that passed away, and he didn't get to see all of my dreams manifest. And as a mother, I just don't want any other child of mine to pass away and not see me living fully to my truest potential. Not that I had any regrets, because Gabe traveled. He got to see mommy being an entrepreneur and being a talk show host at the level that I was at that time. But for him to transition to heaven and now only get to celebrate me from heaven, it did something to me. It just broke something in my spirit, to the point where it's like, I am on fire when it comes down, being determined that I'll never be the same again. I'll never be the same again. And your strategy session helped me identify that, Pamela.
Wow. That's
Make that emotion out of me. Okay, let's carry on here. Let's see. So number one, you said people need to understand their strengths. Any other tip on how people can do things virtually?
I think also just understanding that opportunities are limitless online. Take time out to engage, in skill training. This is a good time to get some skill training. There are so many colleges, schools that are offering, complimentary sessions for 4 and 6 weeks to just kind of enhance your skills in what you're doing. And then when you get those skill sets, post them. And show people that you're still growing in your business, and that, you can now broaden the services that you offer virtually.
So understand that opportunities are unlimited online. And you do recommend that time you kind of get that understanding of what you're offering, that you go ahead and offer it out?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just make sure that you have the right skill set for it, because, you never know what life curve balls are going to come your way. Just make sure you where you need to be.
That's a good point. Yes. Okay. So how do people get in touch with you, Pamela? Because I want to make sure I post that a couple of times as well.
So people can go, I'm definitely on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. But to keep things simple, you can go directly to my website, PamelaPlans.com. I like an opportunity to just sit down and talk and learn more about you and your business and where you're trying to pivot to, as we're transitioning from live to virtual. And there's a complimentary consultation there. I will extend it with anyone who is actually watching this video live or catch this on the replay. All you have to do is click consultation and get on my calendar.
PamelaPlans.com, and that's with the S, PamelaPlans.com, and you can click on consultation. And if you're watching or hearing the Kim Jacobs Show, just let her know that you heard on the Kim Jacobs Show, and she will give you a complimentary coaching session. I promise you, when you have that session with Pamela, your life and your outlook is not going to be the same. It can't be. once you experience it and the level of depth, I almost bit my tongue, the level of depth that her questions yank a certain thing out of you that you feel like I gotta go start tackling the world. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm just sitting here and doing nothing. And I have an office. I have lights. I just come on. I have a mouth. I have a voice. I have a story. I can host people. Please, God, use your gifts and your talents according to Pamela Howard. You know.
There you go. Put those strengths into play and show up.
What'd you say?
I say put those strengths into play and show up.
Let's see. I'm typing that too. Okay, Cassandra, your name is in this broadcast a lot because I need you. Your strengths. You see how long it's taking me just for half the interview? Put your strengths into plan, right? Into play.
Put strengths into action and show up.
Into action and show up. I'm doing this as a courtesy to you guys as my studio audience. So later, if you go back and watch the replay, you'll get a chance to have the tips right here on the screen. So number 3 is put your strengths into action and show up. And how do you show up, Pamela?
I'm glad you asked, because I've seen some people show up and it's a little bit, I don't want to say the wrong word, but disheartening, especially when you know how intelligent a lot of your community partners are. But when you show up online, show up professionally and show up and be organized, because you only have one time to make a first impression. And just like if you're meeting someone for the first time, you're meeting a client for the first time, when you get online, you're presenting all the time, whether it's personal, whether it's business. And when you show up, you need to let people know who's the expert, whether you're in a personal capacity online or whether you're in a professional capacity online. Because I'm just going to put it out there. It ain't cool to get online talking about business and you hanging out in your bed. It's not cool. That's not showing up professionally. And so, you want to make sure that you show up professionally and be organized. Keep things on your calendar. There's so many different calendars that you can use virtually. And a lot of them automate with your, the technology you're already using. Take breaks. Just because we're in self-quarantine doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be online for the whole 24 hours of the day. If we weren't self-quarantined, you wouldn't be online. You may get on your phone and maybe do a quick tweet or a selfie or maybe check some quick email, but people know that you're working. And although a lot of what we're doing from a activity perspective is online, it doesn't mean that you just have to be online. Give yourself some breaks. Let us miss you and come looking for you.
That's right. I love that advice, because that's why I'm coming on and I'm doing, based on your teaching, I'm coming on and being consistent with my timing, because I learned that. So, and then I actually learned that I was listening to another broadcast that Gary V, he goes off, he be cussing his head off, but I was like, oh God, Gary. But guess what? Just putting something out there that you're passionate about. If I say I want to be a talk show host, then host a talk show. So stop saying you want to be a talk show host and get to talking. All these people, interview some people and talk to people, and stop saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to. Okay, how about just do it and do it consistently? And that's what I am learning to make sure that I do during this time. But then I do completely take all this stuff off, put my joggers on and go walking in the neighborhood. I'm not out in the neighborhood with all of this. My face is wiped off with a baseball cap. A transition.
Right.
Focusing on my health. Then I just kick back and, okay, I don't know. This is probably such a contraindication. It really is. And I know it even before I say it. Then I'll bake a chocolate chip cookie and a scoop of ice cream and watch a show. Okay, I know that totally defeated oh my God, that defeated the whole workout, right? But hopefully I just won't get any bigger. Okay, that's a whole nother topic. Lena Green is going to come on actually as a fitness expert, and she's going to be on my show coming up soon next week.
Okay.
So she'll tell me, Kim, put that cookie down. Oh my G. Okay, let me see what else you said. I don't know why I made that confession on this whole show. Number 5, you said take breaks. Take breaks.
Take breaks. And, make sure you create a designated workspace. You don't want to get too complacent, being in the home. And, so have a designated workspace. In other words, don't make your bedroom your workspace. Don't make where you have dinner with your family your workspace. Have a designated place that is just work. Because what you're going to do is you're going to posture yourself to be able to develop a mental working habit.
Okay.
It's all about it's actually all about a mindset. And then if you have other people, family members living in the home with you, they're going to learn to respect that.
That's right.
Because that's your workspace. Everybody's workspace, you can't close a door and be contained in your self-contained home.
Right.
Some places are a little open, so you just have to create that workspace. And then get up and have your lunch. And have a place where you have your lunch. If that's at your family dinner table. When it's nice outside, I like to go sit on my patio, and just, get a break from it all. And always remember good virtual housekeeping.
Good virtual housekeeping. I'll type that. Hold on. What is good virtual housekeeping?
Well, you just, when you're doing something virtually, you have to be engaging. Show that you give experience. Take your break. And also, make sure that you come in to present yourself well. Make sure there's not a whole bunch of stacked stuff in the backdrop.
Yes, Samantha Benson said, yes.
And you know what? If you didn't get to have breakfast, listen, I understand. Breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day. But please don't bring your breakfast to the meeting. Their technology is wonderful. If you have to eat, some people have medical conditions, they have to take a pill and then they have to eat,
Am I allowed to have my coffee? I actually don't even drink coffee, but this is tea. Is it okay to have tea?
Having a beverage is one thing, but if you're trying to have a conversation and eat at the same time, that is just not. Even if you're just viewing and listening, it's such a distraction. It's such bad housekeeping.
Okay, so seriously, right now, train me for a second. Is it okay? Remember, I did this from your training. So the whole thing is, I want people to feel comfortable to just grab a beverage and in their slippers and just kind of kick out and put a blanket on if they want to, but just kind of have that chat time with hearing the Kim Jacobs show and feeling like they are with their sister friend type of thing.
I think it's a time. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
I said, is that okay or no to have a tea?
I think I would say to something like that, I think if you're setting up to do something casual, then of course it's fine because that's what's expected. But, from a business perspective, if you're getting online to do business, you want to present differently. I'm having something this coming Friday called QUARINE-TINI time. And
what?
QUARINE-TINI time.
Quarantine.
QUARINE-TINI, TINI, time, TIME.
Okay, QUARINE-TINI time. Okay, what is that? Tell us about
TINI, sorry.
Girl, I told you I had Cassandra now. Cassandra? Okay, quarantine time. Let's see. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
So QUARINE-TINI time is basically where I'm going to get together with some people in the event industry and we're going to have martinis, non-alcoholic I don't drink, so mine is going to be non-alcoholic. It's just going to be in a martini glass. But for those that want to, we have a professional bartender who is actually going to come and show us how to make an in-home martini. It's going to be like an icebreaker for us during our social time before we get out into the networking. So I think if to get back to your question, to be able to do something kind of casual, I think it's fine as long as, your strategy presents itself that way. If I'm coming to a pajama party, then I don't want to come and put my vest on. I want to have my robe on and, my slippers and all that kind of stuff, because that's what you're doing. We have to be mindful and do things appropriately. Just like if we was going out and doing them out of the house, the same rules still apply.
Wow, I love everything that you are sharing. This is amazing. I'm going to take a moment to let everyone know that I would love for you to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show on YouTube and help get the show out there. If you go and subscribe and turn on your notifications, that we greatly appreciate it, because the show can only be as successful as you guys make it. So I appreciate you guys being a part of the studio audience, and I want to thank my audience members of the Kim Jacobs Show. Let's go to a few comments, Pamela. I'm just shouting out some of these. Oh, let me shout out some of the people that's on here. Samantha Benson, she said, love that idea. And Ruth Jacobs said she's putting everything you're saying on her vision board that she made yesterday.
Yay!
Dad said, great info, ladies. Heading out to a staging consultation. Way to go, Dad.
Yeah.
She's my guest on Friday. Okay, Samantha Benson says she'll be getting in touch with you. Ruth said, that was great. Oh, hey, somebody said, I love you, Kim. Hey, Samantha, I love you. Okay. And let's go to some other people that are on. Darius Frederick is on. Now, if you don't comment as my studio audience members, I don't necessarily know that you're watching, but I do know that Mother Julia Harper and Mother Adele McLean, who are some of our church. Let's start first. Mother Julia Harper is our church mother, our official church mother at Quest Church. And she's 80 years old, and she is watching on YouTube.
Okay.
You believe
it?
She doesn't type a comment.
I'm honored.
Every day she sends me a text and says, I am a cheerleader. I watched that show. And she said, that was some great information you shared today. She's very encouraging. Her and Mother Adele McLean. So thank you so much, mothers, for supporting the Kim Jacobs Show. I don't take this for granted. Darius Frederick is watching, and Darius Frederick, he can get celebrity guests to come into anything. I don't know why I haven't had a singer or anybody on my show yet. If I have you in my life, Darius Frederick, not that I'm chastising anybody, but I just feel like in my spirit, I should at least put it out there. Now that you're watching the Kim Jacobs Show, you can at least see the flavor and the flair. Imagine what would happen if you bring in one of your celebrity guests to be a guest on the Kim Jacobs Show.
Yeah.
We're connected for life, Darius. So let's make this happen. Benita Jackson is on. Benita, she was actually attacked by 3 pit bulls recently and had some damage done to her hands and different things. And I just want to say I'm so grateful to God that you are okay, Benita, that God spared your life. And I thank you for, even in being mangled pretty much, and you still take time to come and be a part of the Kim Jacobs Show studio audience. If I had a car, I'd be like, you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. But I don't have that to give you, but I do. And I thank you for being in the studio audience today. Let's see. Okay, I have Michaela Hayes, and this is National Autism Month. So her son, David, has autism, but God has just been blessing him in a tremendous way. She's going to be one of my guests next week as well. And we'll be talking about the importance of understanding autism and being aware of that particular disease state. Priscilla Martin, Jeffrey Davis, all kinds of Robin Hundley Solomon, Sherilyn Edwards is on, and Sherilyn does paparazzi jewelry, only $5. I wish I had on my paparazzi today. Sherilyn has some of the nicest pieces, and I wear
have some real nice pieces.
She has really great pieces. And Charlene, I'd love for you to come on one day and show your pieces, and you can just inbox me and let me know, because that could be a jewelry party. OMG. See what happens when you be in the studio audience of the Kim Jake? People are like, oh gosh, you done booked me already on the right live on the show. Okay, let's go on. So what do you find is the best method for people to be able to do virtual events, Pam?
You know, I think it depends. Well, let me say this. Go back to what I said about understanding your strengths.
Okay.
So there are so many things you can consider doing online. You know, a lot of people are familiar with Upwork. Upwork is an online platform that connects your talent with business, basically. And so for people that are used to being out and doing live things, or that's just a way to kind of, find clients as well. We talked about the demand media. I think someone had a question about, they're trying to hire, someone, and they want to know how to do that correctly.
Right.
Demand media is a great platform for that.
Okay.
Social media, period. It's your entire network at your fingertips. Your followers, people that like you, view your content. Follow up with those people and reach out to them. Break the ice. Thank you for following me. What made you want to connect?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for liking my post. What about it made you like it? I saw that you I saw that you viewed my video. Would you like to schedule a consultation and talk about what you saw? There's so many ways that you can actually connect right at your fingertips. But be careful with that, because you don't want to come off too salesy or too pushy. You just want to nourish that conversation. You just want to start a conversation, get to know that person, and learn about them. Learn about them, because if you don't show that you're interested in who they are or what they do, what makes you think they're going to be interested in learning from you?
That's so good. Learn about it. Okay.
And we never can forget about we never can forget about word of mouth. Word of mouth, really common. Get people talking about it.
Give me 1 second. Pamela, it's glitching. So I make you not glitching.
Okay.
Okay. So say something again.
I want to talk about word of mouth.
Okay.
Okay. So word of mouth is most common. Get people talking about you, talking about what you do. It's just as good virtually as it is naturally.
I love this, Pamela. So word of mouth referrals still work, basically. So that's why I'm saying to Darius Frederick, if he just tells somebody, I have a friend, Kim Jacobs, and I want to make sure that you go and just be a guest on her show virtually, because of him, anybody would do it, right? So the only reason I don't have singers on my show is Darius Frederick's fault, right? I'm making it up. All right. So anyway, word of mouth referrals totally still makes a difference. Another studio audience comments, any others that's coming up? Courtney Jacobs is my brother, and he's so supportive. And he has Courtney Wellness Companion, and he has great tips on ways to be able to lose weight properly and keep it off non-surgically. He's lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
Years, and has kept it off, like about 60 or so off, for well over 15, no surgery. So I'm amazed at this young man and his transformation with health.
Fabulous.
Great tips and great show. He said 100, keeping it 100.
And you know what, Kim? I want to say one more thing. Don't be afraid to reach out to previous clients.
Okay.
Those clients that you served before we was under quarantine and before the coronavirus hit, reach out to those previous clients. It don't, just because we're pivoting and transitioning a bit, reach back out to them. Let them update them and let them know what you're doing. And ask them for referrals if you're having to pivot into something new, not reinventing anything, but sometimes the pivoting will make you transition into something new that you have to build and engage. Go back to those previous clients and say, hey, would really love for you to give me a referral, and connect what you're pivoting to how you serve them before we was under quarantine. It worked.
I love it. I love that. And I'm glad you said that, Pam, because what happened is some of the people that I've had on my podcast, which
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't seen. It was just on iHeartRadio or iTunes
Mm-hmm.
or, Spreaker, all of these different, SoundCloud and all of that. Now
Yes.
I'm thinking based on what you're just saying right now, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to go back and reach to those individuals and have each of them come back and be a guest physically on the show like this, where
Right.
they'll be seen because that's a whole different platform. So that's great
Mm-hmm.
for me. Thank you.
Right. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're dropping some serious knowledge for people here. Okay, the other question I have is how can people uh, be more organized virtually? How can people become more organized virtually?
Well, I think I had mentioned earlier, but definitely to share again, use an online calendar.
Okay, okay.
Use an online calendar for your meetings. Make sure you're making phone calls, taking breaks, and work your schedule. If you're
Good,
going to be available, your office hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., then
good.
make sure that you're accessible and available 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be online that long,
Right.
but be doing something productive in your business.
I
And
love
take breaks, take breaks. Go to your networking meetings if that's something you do to your day. There are so many virtual networking meetings online.
it.
I
Okay.
know one particular colleague, because of the way she has pivoted her business, she's taken 1 hour a week on a particular day, and she's having like office hours. Just, she made Zoom her office, and she's there on Zoom for so many hours. And so people can just jump in and say, hey, I got a question.
Oh my
You
God.
know,
I never thought
I
of that.
mean, whatever you have to do, if, depending on your platform, for your work and your strategies, you may have to have office hours. If you're used to having an office and people are used to coming in for whatever your services are, then create that virtual office.
Wow.
Okay, to this particular market, or membership, or, if you have a membership based service, or if you have clients that you're nurturing and you're saying that you're gonna offer them so many hours or so much time of your
Woo.
time, okay. On every first week of the month on Wednesday, I'm going to be in the office. You can just pop in. Here's the link. This is how long I'm going to be there. You can pop in and have your office hours. So, we have to show a lot of ingenuity when it comes to being virtual. You
I
know,
love that.
the more you work for your customer, your potential customer, then and show them how you're trying to be accessible and support them on what you
Wow, that was some great advice, Pamela.
do.
PamelaPlans.com. PamelaPlans.com is how you want to get in touch with Pamela, and you can set up a virtual courtesy consultation. And I'm telling you, it will change. It will change your life, and it just changes how you think because you
Oh,
can't think the same after you've been through one of Pamela's sessions. And people celebrate celebrities all the time. So if you were a celebrity person, people be like, "Oh my God, I gotta get that session. Oh, they sold
oh,
out." Oh my God. But guess what? The advice and the information that you have provided, Pamela, is just as quality, if not better, than lots of celebrities out there. So I
thank
just want to say
you.
it's some great life-changing information. So people, please make sure you take advantage of a courtesy. I guess maybe because I've already been through it, I know what happens. You're gonna be crying. You're gonna be changing how your strategy. You're gonna start doing something different than you currently do. You can't help it because her sessions are great. So take
Thank
advantage
you.
of plans.com. Any other last words of advice, tip, anything that you like, Kim? I meant to say this and I didn't get to say it on the Kim Jacobs show.
I just want to say, that my heart goes out to, families that are being affected by Corona. I'm I'm thankful and I'm very blessed that, my family has been very safe. We've had what we need, being that our industry, in addition to Pamela Plans, I co-own with my husband, Howard and Howard Event Management Catering, and we're not a restaurant, so we're just not really open. And so, but I'm glad that, this transition hasn't affected us too heavily. But for those that have been affected, my heart goes out. Continuous prayers, to those that are dealing with this virus. And, I will say this, you had mentioned earlier about balancing life and, people being so stressed out. Yesterday I went out. I try not to go out no more than twice a week, just because I know every time I go out, there's a potential chance of being exposed. Believing in Jesus Christ to protect me, but we still have to have common sense as well. And but I went out to the grocery store and I was pleasantly surprised to see how seriously a lot of the essential businesses are taking, caring about themselves and our customers. I went into Food Lion and it was just so refreshing. Like I really wanted to be there and not rush out and take my time and shop, because they had where you could only do one way down an aisle.
Yes.
And there you see people, just vigorously cleaning the cart, one way in, one way out. It's so organized. And I brought that up, as we're talking about being organized online. We have to be that organized online as well. It's the same thing. You go out. If it wasn't as organized cleaning, you wouldn't want to go there, right? If you went to an essential business and you didn't see that things were being cleaned and organized, and it made you feel like you were being protected at whatever expense, you probably wouldn't even want to go. And so when you take that little tip and think about it when you're online, you want to be that organized and that clean line when you're online, presenting yourself, talking with people, growing your business, and, presenting your professional image.
Well, I love it. I love everything that you shared. I'm just going to say a couple more audience comments. My sister Ruth Jacobs, just so you know, she's in remission, rung the bell. She had stage 3 cancer, and God blessed her on this earth just a little while longer. And I'm so grateful for that. And she said that I would like to have a session with Pamela Howard.
Awesome.
Ruth, I'll make sure that happens. I'll connect the two of you today. Okay.
Absolutely. Would love to. Thank you, Ruth.
Yeah, I'm so excited. She rung that bell 1 year. Yeah, totally in remission, man. My God.
Wonderful.
Whew. Okay, so I am excited. And let me also just go ahead and invite people right at around noon. At noon, we have a prayer line. Quest Church noonday prayer line is from 12 to 12:30. And the phone number, if you'd like to join in on the prayer, is Monday through Friday, 978-990-5000. Access code is 322083#. Again, 978-990-5000. Access code 322083#. We love to have you be a part of the noonday prayer. As I prepare to close out, I just want to also give a shout out to Sean Hall, who is on here as one of my studio audience members. Sean gets scholarship funding for children, like where kids can go to school for free. She just helped get literally a $5,000 scholarship for my son for school.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. I'm going to sing it from the mountaintop. Sean is the expert when it comes to doing scholarships and helping your children secure funding to go to school for free. As much as possible, you want to get in touch with Sean Hall from All Roads Education. My brother, Javon Jackson, is on here, and my brother is a phenomenal when it comes to audio, visual, all kinds of media, and he knows how to set stages for events, Pamela. He actually travels the country and sets events up, sets the staging, the lighting, the audio, visual. He does phenomenal work with that.
Oh, wow.
And he's also really fit too. So he's been doing these whole push-up challenges and things like that. I can't do all of that, but he is super talented. So keep him in mind as you plan your events in the future as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you guys for being on the Kim Jacobs Show. Let me make sure I give you a way to reach out to Pamela Howard one more time. I'm trying to make sure I get to it. Oh, I need you, Cassandra. Cassandra know y'all that she is needed and missed, right? I can't find it, but there you go. PamelaPlans.com. Go check her out, book your consultation. Pamela, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Kim, for having me. I am so humbled. Thank you.
No, I'm so humble. Thank you. Okay, guys, God bless you all. Thank you for tuning into the Kim Jacobs Show. Ruth Jacobs said, I love you both. Thank you both. And thank you all for being a part of the Kim Jacobs Show today. Go to the prayer line, 12 o'clock to 12:30. Thank you, Pamela, for being an outstanding blessing to our community today.
Thank you.
God bless you. Have a great day, everybody. And Darius, give me some singers.